Well, I have decided one thing is that you all should feel really loved because I just did this whole thing once and now it is 6:38 p.m. and I'm about to do it again because it didn't save. But I want you to know it, so we're going to go over it together, but you're going to have to watch this on your own time. So, number 1, does it have one solution, no solutions, or infinite solutions? So to find out, we have to actually... what's it doing here? We have to actually solve it. So number outside the parentheses, distribute. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times negative k is minus 4k. Write down the rest. All your variables on one side, and all your numbers on the other. So I could move 6 by doing minus 6. Do it over here. 8 minus 6 is 2, and bring down the rest. If I add 4k to get rid of it, it cancels. Add it over here. Let me move this stuff up. Negative 4 plus 4 is 0. Okay, but 0 times anything is 0, so we can just write 0. We got a 2 over here. Does 2 equal 0? No, so we write no solution. Alright, number 2, we're just combining like terms. Remember, it has to have the same letter and exponent to be a like term. So this one has an x squared. Remember to keep the sign in front of it with it. This one has an x squared. And then this one and this one just have x's. So if I combine those, negative x plus 8x is negative 7x. And then negative 5x squared minus 2.5x squared is negative 7.5x squared. Can't combine those because they are not like terms. One has a squared and one doesn't. So my final answer is negative 7.5x squared minus 7x. Number 3, we're just solving that equation. So all the variables on one side, if I move this 6y by adding, this would cancel, left with 4 over here, a negative 8, and then 6y plus 6y is 12y. Add 8 to both sides, this will cancel. 4 plus 8 is 12. Bring down my 12y and divide. 12 divided by 12 is 1. So our answer for y is 1. Alright, number 4, we've got a word problem. Barb purchased a loaf of bread for $4 and P pounds of sliced ham at $3 per pound for a total of $9.40. The relationship the relationship between what she purchased and her total price is represented by this equation. What was the total number of pounds? So total number of pounds is P. So all we have to do is solve for P. So minus 4, which over here is 5.40, equals 3P. Divide both sides by 3. So 5.4 divided by 3. She bought 1.80. Oh, change colors on me. 1.80 pounds. Okay, 5 we don't have to do. You don't have to worry about that one. Number 6, which has infinitely many solutions. So you could go through and solve them all to see which one has infinite solutions. So let's try this one. 4x plus 3 is equal to 5 plus 4x. All the variables to one side. This cancels. Oh, and this cancels too. So I'm left with 3 equals 5. Does 3 equal 5? No. So it is no solution. And we're looking for infinite solutions, so A is not an option. Let's try B. Alright, 4x plus 3 is equal to 5 plus 3x. All our variables to one side. I can minus that to get rid of it. 4x minus 3x is just x. Bring down the rest. Minus 3. And x is 2. Well, we got an answer, so there's only one solution, so that's not an option. C. All the variables to one side, minus 3x, minus 3x. Negative 5 equals negative 5 plus x, because 4 minus 3 is just 1. Add 5. That cancels. Negative 5 plus 5 is 0 equals x. And again, we got an answer, even though it's 0. So that's not an option. Process of elimination shows that D is the answer, but we're going to work it out anyway. 3x minus 5 is equal to negative 5 plus 3x. All the variables to one side. Well, this cancels, and 3 minus 3 also cancels, and I'm left with negative 5 equals negative 5. And it does equal, so it is infinite. So D is the answer. Alright, 7, we've got another word problem. Candace has saved $10. She plans to save an additional $7.50 every week. We're going to write an equation that could be used to represent the total amount of money she will save after W weeks. So the total amount is T. So we can write T equals, the total equals. We know that she saved $10 no matter what. Even if she doesn't save for any weeks, 0 weeks, she saved $10. So we're going to have plus 10. We're going to have $10 added to be our total no matter what, no matter how many weeks. Then she's going to save $7.50 each week. So if we do 7.5 times, it said W was weeks, that should give us how much she would save. So in 1 week, we would plug a 1 in for here for W. And we'd do 7.5 times 1, which is 7.5, plus 10, which is 17.5. And we could do that for every possible number of weeks. So that would be our equation for number 7. Number 8 and 9, and I think 10 should be fresh on the brain. We are solving system, so if this is what y equals, we can plug it in for y in the equation. So instead of y, open a parentheses and write out what y equals. It's missing. Can distribute. Remember to keep the sign with it, so it's like we're multiplying a negative 2. Bring that down. Negative 2 times negative 3x is positive 6x. Negative 2 times 7 is negative 14 equals 0. Well, if you look here, negative 6 plus 6 cancels because that'll be 0. And we're left with negative 4 is equal to 0. And it's not actually, so we write no solution. Alright, number 9. We don't have 1 equal to y, so we have to make 1 equal to y. So this one already has a y by itself, so it's easy to rearrange. If I take, I'm just rewriting it. If I take this negative 7x to get rid of it by adding, this cancels. then I'd be left with y equals 18 plus 7x. And now I can plug that in for y in the other equation. So start writing out your equation. Negative 3x minus 2. And then 18 plus 7x in place of y is negative 2. Distribute that negative 2. Negative 3x minus, that's 36, negative 36. Minus 14x is equal to negative 2. Combine like terms, and I have negative 17x minus 36 is equal to negative 2. If I add 36, cancels. This would be 34 is equal to negative 17x, and I divide by negative 17, should get x equals negative 2. But I also have to find y, so I'm going to take it and plug it in up here. Y is 18 plus 7x, but we know x is negative 2. So y equals 18. 7 times negative 2 is negative 14. And 18 minus 14 is 4, so my answer would be negative 2, which is x, comma, 4, which is y. Alright. Number 10, one more system. This one, neither are equal to x or y, but this one has an x by itself, so it's easy to rearrange. So, if we minus the 2y, that cancels and we're left with x is equal to negative 3 minus 2y. And now I can take that and plug it in for x in the other equation. So 5, now not x, but negative 3 minus 2y. And then finish writing it out. Minus 4y is equal to 13. I can distribute. Negative 15 minus 10y minus 4y is equal to 13. Combine like terms. Bring down my negative 15. Negative 10 minus 4 is negative 14y equals 13. I'm going to move this up. Add my 15 on both sides. And that should be 28 is negative 14y. And divide both sides by negative 14, and you should get y equals negative 2. But I also have to find x, so I can plug this in over here. X equals negative 3 minus 2 times y, but we know y is negative 2. So negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. Positive 4. And negative 3 plus 4 is 1. So x is 1. So as our coordinate pair would be 1 for x, comma, negative 2 for y. Sorry, that's my dad. So here's your answer. Alright, I'm going to erase some of this because we're out of room. Alright, a school principal ordered 200 pizzas for a total of $1,255. Cheese pizzas were $11.50 each and pepperonis were $13 each. We're going to write two equations that show if C is cheese pizza and P is pepperoni, the number of pizzas that the principal ordered. Alright, so we're going to have a total pizza equation and a total cost equation. So we know we have 200 pizzas, so our pizza equation should be equal to 200. Well, what two kinds of pizzas added together? Cheese and pepperoni. They said C was cheese pizzas and P was pepperoni pizzas. So C plus P, cheese plus pepperoni, should be 200. Our money equation we know should be equal to 1,255. And we know that cheese pizzas cost $11.50 each, so $11.50 C, that means $11.50 times the number of cheese pizzas, plus 13P, that means 13 times the number of pepperoni pizzas. So we find the one that matches that, and that is C. Alright, we got two more. Alright, number 12, two car rental companies charge a one-time fee and a mileage rate for renting a car. The graph below shows the two costs. Which company charges more for a 200-mile trip? Well, we find 200 miles. And which line costs more? Company Q would cost, Company Q would cost $35 and Company P would cost $45. And which is greater? 45. So Company P would charge more for a 200-mile trip. B, will the two companies ever have the same cost? Well, if you look at those two lines, they don't ever cross, and if we continued them on forever, they would still never cross. So they will never have the same cost because they are parallel. And also, like we're going to talk about in the next question, they have the same rate of change. Alright, C, we're trying to find the rate of change for company P. So the rate of change is kind of like unit rate. So we're looking for, so if we find two dots on the graph. Two dots on the P graph. So we go up. If we go up $5, we go over to the, oh my gosh, I don't know why it keeps doing that. We go over 50 miles to get to the next dot. So up $5, over 50 miles, miles, not dollars, which reduces to 1 over 10 miles, $1 for every mile, if I divide by 5. I don't know where P came from. Divide by 5. So that would be our rate of change, $1 for every 10 miles. I'm going to have to hurry up through these last few or else my battery's going to die and this won't save again. The initial cost of Q is where Q starts. So Q starts at 15 and P starts at 25. So the initial charge of Q is 15. And is that more or less than company Q? Well, if Q is 15, then P. Q is 15 and P is 25. Well, obviously Q is less. All right. 13. We're looking to see which of these representations has the greatest rate of change and which has the smallest rate of change. So remember we talked about at one point when we were talking about linear relationships that in an equation, the rate of change is the number in front of the x. So the rate of change here is $12 for a month, because if you read the problem, we're talking about money per month. Health Club B, if X is our months and Y is money, for 1 month they charge $21. C, we look at the graph at 1 month. Oh, that's 2 months. At 1 month, they charge $40. So $40 per month. And then D, in words, it tells us they charge $20 per month. Which representation has the greatest rate of change? Well, C is $40, and that's the most. So don't go to Club C, unless it's super nice. And then B, which representation has the smallest rate of change, is Club A. So go to Club A, not Club C. Alright, I hope this video helped. If you've listened to me in class and you've gone through your study guide and you've watched this video, you should do fine on the test. Ask me if you have any questions. I could give you extra practice problems if you need them. I could clarify anything. But I watch this video. Tell your friends to watch this video. And I hope you do well on your tests.